and welcome to episode number 30 of Tally Benchwarmers. We're 30, man. That's incredible. We are your unofficial, the indefinitely not expert, not expert experts, really, on the latest of local sports here in the Tallahassee region. This week, we are backbenching college softball, baseball, NBA playoffs. I think there may have been a race of four-legged animals over the weekend. Lots to talk about for the next 30 minutes or so. The WFSU team here on the bench going to concentrate on all of that and more. Hey, I'm David Mullins. I am chief towel waver, yes. Chief bottle washer, chief. I scrub the dirt off of the bench. I do
Water
just
boy.
all. Yeah, that's what. Hey, Bobby Boucher. I love that movie. I love.
That's some high quality H2O.
That's some. That is definitely in my WFSU mug. High quality H2O.
Perfect.
So joining me are Jennifer Tapp. And Jennifer, you're over on that side of the bench.
I am. I got moved. I got moved up the bench.
You got moved up to
She got a new NIL.
That's man, I'm telling you, yeah. And the first thing is they're going to give her a new cup.
Yeah, I need
you
one.
Notice that cup?
It's that's looking 10 years old.
Looking kind of nasty, I tell you. Yeah,
it's a little stained.
Just a little bit, but well used.
Yes, very much.
Well loved and well used.
I was going to say
Absolutely.
loved.
Yeah, Eric Carter, assistant chief engineer. Eric, you got something on your head that's kind of exciting looking.
New merch.
Look, it's new merch. We got Tally Benchwarmer merch, do we not?
Yes,
yeah.
indeed.
We've got, in fact, hey, if you're on this camera shot right here, you will see a white Tally Benchwarmer baseball cap with the luxury logo on the front, Tally Benchwarmer. I wish it had turned out a little bit more orange, though. But it turned out it is faux leather, I think is what we decided.
And it's faux stitched.
It's faux stitched, too. But this cap right here can be yours. If you make a comment on our YouTube page, tell us how we're doing, ask us a question, whatever. I mean, if you want to
nice.
you can be nice or be mean. If you want to, maybe you want to make your pitch to be on the bench with us.
Heck yeah.
Just let us hear from you with whatever. And if you are selected, because we're expecting to have hundreds of comments.
So many.
Right?
Yes.
This in itself, this cap.
Flooded in.
It's going to flood in. So we may have to make a drawing or may only have one person. It's like I guess you're it.
Yes.
But we'll have to also be able to reach out to you. So we'll have to figure out how to do all that. But we hope you'll do it because, we want to know that we're talking to more than just ourselves, right? Yeah.
I like you guys.
With my mom.
I like y'all too.
My mom.
Yeah, and your mom. Okay, so
She
we've
might
got
be
at
the winner.
least. Okay, and Taylor Cox is listening to us. I
Yes.
know at least he has to.
He pretends to.
He pretends to. And then Jason Acuna back in the video village is. Well, sometimes he pays attention to it. I guess if you kind of wonder why you labor or linger on a camera shot for too long, maybe it's because Jason's just like, he's zoning out. It's like he got four of the things he's doing and just happens to be in the control room.
Absolutely.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
You usually don't.
That's the one thing that I'm an expert at.
Very good.
I found it, man.
Yes.
I found it.
Yes.
But I love your cap, man.
I
Looks
love your
good.
cap.
Yeah, I tell you. Is my cap on straight, by the way?
Yes.
What about mine? Is mine on?
Yeah.
Yours
Yes.
yours is on straight.
All right.
Yeah. And, we won't talk about Jennifer.
Well, she was wearing hers as a derby cap.
Mine was my derby cap.
That's right. Speaking of the Derby, the Kentucky Derby was this weekend, right?
Yeah, it was. It was Saturday.
It was Saturday.
The first Saturday of May.
Is it always the first Saturday? of May?
Always the first Saturday of
You know
May.
what? I've lived on this earth for 84 years now, and never realized that.
Yeah. Just like Thanksgiving is always on a Thursday. In case you didn't know
Thanksgiving,
that.
yeah, okay. And Christmas is Christmas always on December 25th?
Usually, yeah.
Okay.
Every once in a while during a leap year, they'll make it the 25th and a half.
25th and a half.
Yeah.
And is New Year's Day, is it always January 1st?
Yes.
Okay.
That one's a definite.
That's a definite?
Definite.
Okay. What happened at the Derby? But you were wearing
my Tally
your-
Benchwarmer hat.
as your Derby hat.
As my derby hat. And
Do you have any photos? Are you taking selfies?
I did not. I did not. I'm so sorry. It did get muddy. As you could tell, the track was muddy.
Your cap got muddy?
My cap got muddy.
Okay.
All the mud sprayed from the TV right on
TV,
the
okay.
cap, which is why I couldn't wear it today.
So who won the Derby?
Sovereignty.
Sovereignty.
Yeah, he was one of the favorites. Came around the side from behind and took the Derby.
Let's hear you give can you do the whole last
No.
the final stretch?
No,
You can't?
no, I'm
Okay.
not. I'm not that good.
And how far or how long how many links, as they say in the horse racing world,
I
did
think,
Sovereignty win by?
Now that you're asking me that, of course I don't remember.
Yeah, of
I think
course.
it was only half a link,
Half
if
a
I
link.
remember
It was
correctly.
pretty close.
Maybe
Yeah.
maybe one.
Okay.
Half to one.
But
yeah.
muddy, but a winner.
Muddy, but a
All
winner. He
right.
did great.
You also have to read a little bit of facts.
Oh,
Yes,
ooh,
yes.
Facts.
Wait,
Fun
do we
facts.
have to-
Fun
Do we have to
facts.
fact check this, or are you confident about it?
You can fact check it, but this is fun facts.
Okay.
This was the first Derby where all the horses were related.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they're all descendants of Secretariat.
Oh, I thought maybe they're part of the Mormon. Not Mormons. Did I say that?
Yeah.
No,
Oh my
you didn't
God.
say that.
Okay, I did not say that.
No.
But descendants of Secretariat.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, man, that horse.
He was amazing.
He was amazing.
It was beautiful.
Yeah. Were you old enough to remember Secretariat?
No, but
I didn't
I've
think so.
watched and
Yeah.
seen pictures. and-
Yeah, Secretariat
Yeah.
still holds the record for all three of the Triple Crown races, right?
Yep.
Yep.
And still the last horse to win the Triple Crown, correct?
Yep.
Yep.
But that to hold the record,
For this long.
yeah. The Secretariat did not run on a muddy track. I don't think muddy track is going to be a slower race.
Yeah, those are
Yeah.
slow
But-
races.
But wow, can you imagine having? I mean, if you own Secretariat, and then if you have any kind of ownership of the lineage, because the Secretariat was, I'm going to call him a stud. Secretariat was Secretariat was a stud, man. Secretariat loved life after racing too. I think.
Absolutely.
I think he did.
Yeah. Okay, I'm getting a little bit
A little over there.
a little adult.
Yeah.
We're talking maybe a little bit too adult in our.
This is
I
public
just got a text.
broadcasting.
I've got a text from my wife. Be careful what you say. Okay, so
All right.
we better move on. Anything else?
Thank
that
you,
we
Miss
need-
Benformer.
Yeah, that's right. Do we need anything else excited about the Derby?
No. My pick did not win, but I picked Sandman.
Oh, Sandman.
Yeah,
Why did you pick Sandman?
Metallica. James Hatfield was there. He met Sandman. It was pretty
I feel
cool.
like I'm okay. I won't do that. Yeah, James Hatfield was
Beavis and
there.
Butthead.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Beavis and Butthead right here.
Yeah, but yeah, Hatfield was there, right?
Yeah, he was there.
Is
and
it
he met-
Hatfield or Hatfield? I think it's Hatfield, isn't it? James
I
Hatfield.
don't know.
Yeah,
Now I'm
I got
confused.
the
I'm
thumbs
second-
up from Taylor.
Okay.
And yeah.
All right.
So
Yeah.
but because I think James Hatfield, he's in some sort of a war with the McCoys.
Hatfield.
right,
The Hatfield
okay.
McCoys, yeah.
Okay, got it.
But yeah, so James Hatfield was there. That's
Yep.
kind of cool.
Yep.
But did Sandman? You know what Sandman placed?
I don't remember. He was in the middle of the pack.
Maybe he was
That's too bad.
sleeping.
They've been sleeping. That's right.
Entering.
Yeah. You know, that brings up talk about Virginia Tech, which we're going to talk about Tech in just a little bit later
Yes,
because
indeed.
one of our local teams here played Tech over the weekend. There's a couple of other sports-related things over the last few days.
Yes. You know me.
Yeah?
I always like to talk about the beach volleyball.
Yeah.
I like to talk about the beach volleyball, but I'm going to give a shout out to the ladies on the volleyball team, the beach volleyball team. They had their tournament ended in the second round.
That's too bad, man.
Yeah.
We've been pulling for them.
Yeah, I mean, but they were ranked number 8 in
Yeah.
the tournament. They
Yeah.
beat number 9, Long Beach State, 3-1. Then they played number 1 UCLA.
You know, we lost to
Yeah,
the UCLA Bruins earlier in the season, right? When we
Yes.
traveled to the West Coast.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
And they beat us 3-0. But successful season.
Mm-hmm.
You know, anytime you can make it to the tournament, that's a successful season.
absolutely.
So,
Yeah.
I'll give a good shout out to those women. They did their thing.
Good for our Lady Knowles on the beach volleyball. You know, and talking about successful seasons, we've had a few of our NBA teams that may have had successful seasons that came to an abrupt ending over the last few days, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, who are you pulling for in the NBA playoffs in general? Who would you like to see win? Before we talk about who's still in the playoffs.
My team is the Knicks, So I want to see them go all the way.
Yeah.
But
Do you expect them to go
my sleeper pick for a conference, for the NBA Finals is Golden State, New York.
Golden State and the Knicks.
Yeah.
Oh man, that would be talk about the NBA and what ESPN or I guess it's ESPN ABC that's got the finals. They would really like that. I think.
Yeah.
That would draw some. But we've got a few games. Well, speaking of Golden State, okay, they had a game. Now we're recording this Monday morning. I always say this: we record this Monday morning.
Yes, indeed.
But Sunday night.
Yes.
There was a game 7 in Houston against the team that was ranked higher.
They were the home. Houston was the number 2 team in the Western Conference.
West,
and
Golden State had to play in to get to the playoffs.
But they became the 7th seed.
Yeah,
and they
to play 7. Golden State has played well. Houston has played. I would like to say, and Jason Acuna, who is a Houston fan, he's a Houston kid. He's got connections there. But I would think you could say that the Rockets may have been blamed for a little dirty shenanigans on the court, and that's speaking from a guy who watches Draymond Green all the time for the Warriors.
That's right.
And but anyway,
but it's one of those things that when the NBA seeding happens, Houston always says, I don't want Golden State.
Yeah.
They've ended Golden State's run 5 times.
5 times, yeah.
4 times with the Beard and now with the new clan.
I like the fact that he used the term the Beard. This is for James Harden.
Yeah.
And, on the bench, Eric he's affectionately called the Beard. Well, maybe affectionately called other things, but this morning we started to call you the Beard.
That's right.
So Harden is, again, not playing in Harden's closest chance to the NBA championship was when he played with the Thunder.
OKC, yeah.
Yeah. Gee whiz, that's been
a while.
A long time ago.
Speaking about Harden, they got exited also this weekend.
You mean but right, exactly, yeah. So they were playing the
Clippers.
The Clippers were playing the Denver Nuggets, right?
Yes.
And the Nuggets took it to a game 7, right?
Yes, indeed.
And
his ex-teammate emphatically closed out that series.
Yeah, and that ex-teammate name would be
Westbrook.
Mr. Westbrook.
Yes.
Yeah. And Russell had a short stint with the Lakers that didn't quite work out, but man, he's been a good part of the Nuggets here in the postseason.
Yes, indeed. Yeah. And his emphatic exclamation, we shall say, for helping to close out that series was a steal, breakaway dunk, and he swung on the rim for like a good 2 seconds. Got a technical foul.
Yeah.
But he loved it. He brought the energy and he let them know where they can go.
I think,
use some choice words too.
For the fans of the Clippers in that game, that hang on the rim probably felt more like 2 minutes rather than 2 seconds.
Yes,
they're like just hating his guts. Yeah. So Thunder, speaking of comes back around again. They go, OKC, the Thunder are playing the Nuggets now.
Yes, indeed.
And first game is Monday night, which is tonight.
9:30.
9:30 tonight. The Warriors, the aforementioned. Ooh, how'd you like that? Aforementioned Warriors.
That's a big word.
Yeah,
he used his dictionary.
Yeah,
good job.
Playing the Timberwolves.
Yes.
And Ant-Man.
And Rudy Gobert.
And Rudy Gobert.
Patient zero.
You know what patient zero means? What do you mean by patient zero? For the center for the Minnesota Timberwolves, Rudy Gobert. He was patient number 1 in the NBA, or patient number 0 in the NBA with the COVID outbreak.
Yeah.
Right after he had his infamous...
Shut down the NBA.
He had an infamous interview where he mimicked coughing into the mic, and then right after that, he tested positive. He was the first positive test in the NBA, and they went into the bubble.
And man, that seems like decades ago.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I'm telling you though, we kind of make fun around Gobert, but his 7'1" height under the basket is going to be tough unless Draymond just barrels him over. He's a big tall drink of water, but Draymond can.
Gobert doesn't play with a lot of heaviness.
Yeah,
Like most centers that
yeah,
are that big
yeah.
that play under the rim, he doesn't play with that heaviness like
Yeah.
Shaq used to play with.
Shack, man. Remember the Hack-a-Shack?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was really good.
Yeah, I'm thinking. I saw a clip on I think on Facebook or some video about it was the year that I think the Lakers were playing San Antonio and Greg Popovich, who just was retired and everything. Great,
Yes, indeed.
phenomenal coach. Right off of the tip, the opening tip,
Foul Shaq.
foul Shack. I mean, within 10 seconds, just foul Shack. He's when he get him to the line, he get him out of the, and eventually get him, getting
Tired.
He tired, and where
Yeah.
he'll also start, fouling back. But the Hack-a-Shack. Okay, so Warriors Timberwolves. Again, another game is tomorrow night. Their first game of that series over in the West. So that's the
Right.
West lineup is Oklahoma City, Denver, and then Golden State and Minnesota.
Yes,
Yeah.
indeed.
So, I mean, of the West, I think the Thunder have been kind of the odds-on favorite.
They've been the front runner.
They've been the front runner for quite a while, but we'll see. I mean, and then
In the East.
the East. Hey, the Pacers beat Cleveland, and Cleveland has been the odds-on favorite in the East.
Yes,
for a
they
while.
have.
But game one, which was Sunday, the Pacers kind of surprised.
Shocked.
Yeah,
They came to play.
they came to play, and the Pacers,
They outpaced them.
oh, very good. Yeah, they outpaced them. Yes, yeah. Those Cavaliers,
They played quite cavalier.
they played cavalierly. Yes, and just didn't. So that's the Pacers are leading, and that's actually the first of the four games for the division titles or for the. And then the Knicks, your Knicks.
My Knicks,
Your Knicks are playing
against
the Celtics.
Boston.
Yeah.
We played them in the conference finals last year,
Yeah.
but most of the team was actually hurt last year when we played them in the conference finals. So this year we're healthy.
Yeah.
We're going to see how it works out this year.
We'll see. It's this is when a lot of people,
And Boston,
even
is,
people
Boston
like
is the
Jennifer,
defending champion.
yeah.
So.
But this is the time of the year that people like Jennifer, who now put away their dirty, muddy caps, start watching
It's a derby.
NBA basketball,
It's a
start
derby.
paying attention to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you can actually kind of consider. Although, still the playoffs are going to last another,
Month and a half.
month and a half.
They get over in like August.
Yeah. The NHL and NBA playoffs are kind of similar. It's just, oh my God, are they ever going to end? So anyway, but that's going to be. But before we talk about anything else, if you notice on camera, those that you're just listening, you're not going to care about this, but I am wearing my favorite jersey of the last 10 years.
Yes.
Jordan Travis, J-Trav.
J.
And
Trav,
wearing this
13.
in honor,
JT13.
JT13 in honor of his, when we all saw what we were afraid was going to be inevitable,
Right.
possibly, but really happened. He's officially retired before and without taking a single snap in the NFL.
Yeah.
Yes.
See, I'm getting all emotional and all tongue-tied just talking about
Getting
it.
all choked up.
Yeah, I'm choked. So Jordan Travis, we all just felt so bad for the kid when his career ended here with that injury
Yeah.
against Northern Alabama back in was it October or was it November?
That was in November.
That was
Oh,
in-
it was November?
That was
It was in
November.
November. It was like the second
Oh,
last
yeah.
game of the season.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was 2 games after that.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
the ACC championship.
Yeah. But and then we talking about ACC championship, and I just saw another clip of the tackle towards the end of the game. But anyway, back to J-Trav. I mean, that handwritten note of a goodbye
Yeah.
to his teams, to the folks who have supported
He
him.
forgot to mention us, even though we hadn't started a podcast yet.
He forgot to mention us,
forgot to
but
mention
we have
us.
been talking about him all during the podcast because we were really hoping that he could come and get a chance to play with the Jets.
Yeah.
But just never happened. But Jordan Travis, we salute you, young man,
Absolutely.
for everything that you meant to FSU.
Thank you.
Maybe we can get him back. Maybe we
Yeah.
can somehow
Get him on the bench.
Get him on. We'll get him on the real bench.
Get him on the bench.
Get him on the real bench for FSU
Absolutely.
sports. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
he's got a bright future ahead of him.
Yeah. Speaking of FSU sports, I mean, what a great way to kind of pivot from that sad news of Jay Trapp to some good news in the FSU sports world.
Absolutely. We're going to start with some.
We're turning to our FSU sports reporter, Mr. Eric Carter.
We're going to start with some FSU baseball.
How about some tennis first?
Oh, you want to start with tennis?
Yeah, I want to talk with tennis first.
All right.
We'll get to baseball in a minute. Baseball's real, but some really great news on some NCAA tournament action in the tennis world, right?
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
I'm going to let Jen ride that one out.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Wait, okay. We got her. She was yawning earlier. So
That's right.
we were joking about you were gonna give you a wake up call. That was it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was it.
Call.
Okay. Yeah.
okay. Well, our men's tennis team went to the NCAA Division I Men's Tennis Team Championship.
Wow, that's hard to say.
That's a tongue
It
twister.
is.
That's kind of a tongue twister.
It is. They were there for their 21st appearance in the past 22 seasons.
Wow.
They reached.
That's consistency.
Yeah, they reached the seventh round, or the second round. Sorry, for the seventh consecutive season.
Correct.
So.
But they ran up against the buzzsaw of the South Carolina Gamecocks,
Yes.
who are ranked number 13 in the country
Absolutely.
themselves. So
Yeah.
it's not that we.
Yeah, we
fell
were
to-
ranked 20th. They were 13th. They got us, but we made a solid appearance.
Yeah, absolutely. 21 years, and I mean that's
Salute to the men.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we had the ACC Golfer of the Year from the women's team, right?
Yeah,
Yes,
Lady
indeed.
Knowles.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. What was her name, Jen?
Maribel Ting.
Maribel Ting.
That's right.
She was a sweet ting.
Oh my God.
That may be worse than my Mormon joke earlier.
I
Sorry.
think so.
But
think so.
Mirabelle, I mean, yeah, definitely, our top golfer got us to the into the playoffs and
Yes.
all that. You know, so good for her.
Yeah.
We won the ACC
Yes,
with her
indeed.
as one of
Yeah,
our lead
and she was
golfers,
she definitely she placed first
Yeah.
in the ACC tournament
Yeah.
for our
Yeah.
team. So
This is the first time that the Lady Knowles have been ranked number one
yep.
in the tournament.
Yep.
They're in the Lexington Regional, 12 teams.
Mhm.
The top 5 teams go on to the actual NCAA tournament. So
Mhm.
hopefully, they continue and do what they're doing, and then they'll kick some butt.
Yeah, bring a national championship home.
Yeah, these
That'd be
regionals.
amazing.
These regionals go from the 5th through the 7th, and after that, the actual championship matches are in Carlsbad, California.
Oh man, Carlsbad.
Yes.
We had a Carlsbad, and I grew up in Texas, Carlsbad, Texas.
Mm.
Yeah,
Did
that
you
is
get the
where, that is
attention?
where that is where
The dad jokes are just
No,
raining
yeah.
down today.
But that is where back in the 1950s, 40s, that there was a sanatorium for tuberculosis patients.
Oh,
Isn't that something?
that's crazy.
Yeah. And then you know what happened to it? After that, it became a mental hospital.
Mm.
Yeah.
Nice.
So it became a
So-
sanitarium.
It became a there you go. So a little bit of trivia about West Texas for you that you'll never
I'm
need.
so glad.
You're never
see
going to
how that
need again.
transitioned to a Metallica song?
Yeah.
I saw that.
That's right. Yeah.
You guys are full of it
Oh,
today.
Eric is on fire. I think. Do you have caffeine in your drink?
I do, but
You
there's
do?
not
I
enough.
think Eric
I don't
has got
think that-
I got
the
water.
brand new caffeinated water is what's going on.
I'm not sure if that's water.
Yeah. What was that drink that you were telling me about earlier?
Alani.
Alani.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and I've got to write that down because it
Yeah.
sounds really good. And this is not a product pitch, by the way.
No.
Yeah.
it's-
I mean,
But if you want to
Alani-
sponsor.
Unless Alani wants to sponsor us.
Hey.
But,
Yes, indeed.
but anyway, and speaking about moving fast, I'm not speaking about moving
No.
fast. I'm just trying to pivot here.
Well, we got to talk
Trying to
about the men's
transition.
golf team.
And yeah, of course.
They host. The regional is here in Tallahassee. You got me all. See, it's the water.
yeah,
it's the water.
That's potato
Yeah,
water,
sorry.
I think.
Yeah.
That's potato juice.
Potato juice.
The men,
Vodka.
Oh, wow. Yeah, no, that was right on the top.
come on,
here
you
for
got
me.
get it.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah. Anyway, So the men's golf.
Yeah, the number 10 Knowles, the number 12 Nins. Oh, wow. All right, the number 10
We may have to
Knowles.
start over here, man. No, we're not going to start over. Not starting over.
They are ranked number 2 in the Tallahassee Regional.
Nice.
So we got the regional in Tallahassee.
That's
Are they
correct.
playing at the
course that Jack
course,
built.
the Jack built?
Yes. And
That's just right across the
Right
street.
across the street.
From where we are sitting.
That'll
Yeah.
be on the, it starts,
We can walk out the back door here and just
match
get
play
over.
starts on the 12th through the 14th.
That's
Nice.
cool.
The top 5 teams advance to, guess where?
I have no idea.
Super regional.
Carlsbad,
Carlsbad.
California.
Okay.
Yes.
Did I
And
tell you
then-
about a story about Carlsbad, Texas?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, sorry.
That
Yeah.
sounds like Groundhog's
Yeah,
Day.
it does, doesn't it? Yeah, it's definitely Groundhog Day.
And the championship matches for the men go from the 23rd through the 28th.
So by the end of maybe by the end of the month, we'll know who the national. Wouldn't it be cool if men and women national champion golf?
That'd be
That'd be
amazing.
great.
That'd be
cool.
awesome.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And then there was a track meet over in Jacksonville over the past weekend.
That was a fast pivot.
That was a fast pivot.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why I'm so tired.
Yeah.
I was over
You
there.
were over there?
Yeah.
Were you running?
I was running.
Did you run over there and back?
I did.
Oh,
I was
wow.
practicing my derby skills.
Good Lord. Was it muddy?
Yes.
Was the road? Okay. You
So
didn't take
muddy.
I-10.
Yeah.
She took the back roads.
I did.
Yeah.
She took 90.
Anyway. So we've got a young man who is running track for us. Freshman running track for us.
Yes.
Is also on the football team.
Yes.
Who is a burner? I mean, he's running the 400 meters. Let's give it. But if you can run the 400 meters in 45.0 seconds,
Yes.
that
You were
first
moving.
that first 100 meters is faster than I could run. 12. So
His 400 is probably faster than I run the 100.
maybe so. Oh, I don't know. 45
Maybe
seconds.
200.
But he
Maybe
has run.
200.
But this is McKay,
yes.
McKay
Danzy.
third fastest in FSU history in the
Yes.
400. Ran it over the weekend. So
And the top 10
um,
in the 400.
yeah.
Yes.
So that's
we got some speed.
we've got some.
Nice.
I'm sure we got speed other than this kid, but he's a freshman. I'll be looking for him. When I'm on the sidelines next year,
Oh, you going back out there?
I hope I can be on the sidelines.
You're a
for that
glutton.
football. Yeah, well, I'm predicting ACC championship, man. So
Okay.
that's
You're trying to get those credentials back down into Carolina again, aren't you?
I want to get to the championship game and then maybe a bowl. We're talking months away now.
Absolutely.
We got to
But-
survive Alabama
Yeah.
first.
But we do, and we got to get the whole football stadium
Yeah, that's going to
Rebuild.
happen.
rebuilt too. Anyway, we've got some more FSU sports related news, which is really really great. The FSU softball team went to where?
Blacksburg.
Yeah, and what song plays when the team in Blacksburg, the Virginia Tech Hokies, come onto the field?
Enter the Sandman.
It comes full circle.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
right.
Anyway.
But before we talk about Blacksburg, we're going to talk about the Lady Knowles. They had their senior showcase on
Oh,
Wednesday.
they did. Yeah, last Wednesday.
Yes.
Yeah. And what happens at the senior showcase?
Well, usually
that sounds like something off of The Price is Right.
Yeah.
Well, the senior showcase. Well, the senior showcase was for the seniors. It was to, highlight the. We had a class of 10 this year. That are graduating and
I did
moving
not
on.
realize that.
Yes.
That's the man. Whoa, wow.
So it's pretty good. But Micaiah Edenfield was selected number
Our
8.
catcher, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
She got the golden ticket presented to her at our senior showcase.
Nice.
What's the golden ticket mean? I know what it means on
Yes.
America's Got Talent. Does things fall down from the sky?
Well,
and
no,
everything?
what that means is that she was actually drafted in the draft for the softball league for the women.
Okay.
And
Oh,
she's
that's
going to
cool.
be joining her former Noble players because they weren't her teammates at that time because she
Okay,
wasn't on the
right,
team
yeah.
yet. But former Noble players, Kaylee Harden and Jessie Warren from the national championship team.
Nice.
That is really cool.
And she's going to be on the vaults.
On the Volts.
Yes.
Okay. What city is that?
I don't know.
Let's see, okay.
Hopefully it's Tennessee. That would make
Yeah,
sense.
yeah, maybe, yeah. So, so the senior showcase. So we had that activity happening last week, and then we traveled to Blacksburg.
Yes, we did
And
travel.
what is the song that plays? No, sorry, we won't. Okay.
But we won the first game there,
Yeah.
and that was beautiful because in winning that first game, clinched the regular season ACC
That's all we had to do
title.
is just win one game.
That's all we needed to do was win one game, and won that first game 13-4 on Friday.
Yeah.
Came back Saturday, won 8-0 run rule.
Run rule, 6
Nice.
innings. Yeah.
But then we dropped the third game 8-6.
You know what? After you've won the first two, you've got to have a
And the regular season champs.
yeah.
Yeah,
need
but
a break.
the lady knows it's of the beautiful thing. They head into conference play.
Yeah.
And conference play starts on May 7th. The Lady Knowles have a bye, and they play the winner of Game 5 because there's 4 games on the 7th. On the 8th, they play, and the winner of Game 5, which the winner of that game would be either Cal or Georgia Tech.
Okay, so we know that we're playing either Cal or Georgia Tech.
That's correct.
In our first game of the ACC tourney.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes, indeed.
You know, this team has really shined. So let's pull for an ACC championship, and then we'll see where they go in the national.
Well, if they get an ACC championship, we'll have, not just a regional, but the super regional also.
That would be great.
That would be amazing.
Because
That would be a lot of
right
fun.
now
Yeah.
they're ranked number 9.
Yeah.
They're 44-8 overall, 18-3 in conference.
That's amazing.
And 18-3 at home. So if we can get a super regional, we're going to have really good chances here.
Yes.
And then the baseball team, the men are.
I'm going to clap it up for the men.
There you go. Absolutely.
I'm going to clap it up for the men because they've done something that they haven't done in a long time.
Yeah,
they won a series against Clemson.
They won a series, and
Yes.
Clemson ranked 3rd in the nation.
No,
right now,
yes.
or as of before the weekend. But
Well, the rankings come out tomorrow, so
okay, we'll
know.
see what happens.
Yeah. So, but Clemson was 37-12. They are 37-12, 14-10 in ACC play, ranked number 3 in the nation. Came here to Tallahassee to face number 5,
Number 5. Yep.
Florida State, who was 33-10 currently and 14-7 overall in the ACC.
And
Nice.
what happened in game 1 of that series?
In game 1, we had to fight back twice
Yeah.
for an 11th inning.
That was
win.
11th inning walk-off hit, right?
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah.
Yes.
That was, yeah. And
It's been exciting.
Yeah, and I mean, I saw video clips of that, and the crowd just was bazonkers.
Yes. That was a
Bazonkers.
6-5
That's a
win.
good
So
word.
good
Yeah.
pitching both ways. The game didn't get it, out of hand. So
Yeah.
it was really exciting.
And
And
Saturday game that got interrupted by some rain. Right?
yes,
Yeah.
it got delayed for an hour and 40 minutes, and then they called it. And then they resumed it Sunday morning, and Clemson won that game 6-3.
Yeah.
So they tied the
Nice
series.
stuff, yeah.
And then the regularly scheduled game,
Yeah.
the reason that we're really clapping around here,
Yeah.
and the men came out in that second, for that second game, and they did their thing.
Yeah.
They put up
This looks
20 runs.
Looks like a football score.
They put up 20 runs on 20 hits.
That's amazing.
Yes, and they won that game in a run rule.
Run rule.
Run rule.
Nice way to kind of end
And a
the
series.
series.
Especially against Clemson.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, it was an overall excellent weekend.
Yeah.
Excellent weekend. It's the 9th series that the Noles won this season, 5th ACC series. The Noles are ranked top in the ACC,
Yeah.
followed by NC State, UNC, and Georgia Tech.
Yeah. So that we'll see where Clemson drops to, right? And
Yeah.
this is the first time in how many years do you remember that we've won a series against
It's been a
Clemson?
while.
It's been like 7 or 8 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Yeah. That's really some good stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. Hey,
That's them Rattlers, baby.
no Rattlers. I wish I had my rattlesnake thing. But our FAMU Rattlers, some really great news across town from us here on the
Absolutely.
FSU campus. We'll turn again to our sports reporter, Mr. Eric Carter, for some updates on the FAMU Rattlers.
FAMU Rattlers, the men's baseball team, they have a 5-game winning streak going.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
They're doing their thing. They are 24-21 overall, 18-6 in SWAC conference play.
Uh-huh.
And this weekend, they swept Alabama A&M. And then when I say swept, I mean swept.
I'm looking at the scores.
Wow.
Scores, yeah.
They got them.
Friday night, it was 17-2 in 6
Alabama
innings.
A&M got a safety on us.
Yeah, they got a safety. Okay. And then on Saturday, they came back. We won 8-4.
Mm-hmm.
Then they came out on Sunday. 15-5.
Yeah.
In 7 innings.
Yeah.
Nice.
There you go.
So they're doing their thing. The Rattlers sit number 2 behind Bethune-Cookman in SWAC conference. And next up for the Rattlers is Texas Southern in Houston. More conference games.
And then the SWAC, I guess, will follow that. Then we'll see.
So we got one more series after that,
one
and
more
then the
series
SWAC
after that.
follows
Then
that.
the SWAC. Okay.
Yeah.
On that one. But hey, before we pivot to the women's softball, we've got some good news on the golf and tennis side for FAMU too, right?
Yes, indeed. On the golf side, we're going to talk about those FAMU men. The HBCU National Championship.
Yeah.
SWAC Championship.
Schwack. Okay. Schwacking.
They are the champions of the HBCU and the SWAC, and they are in that Tallahassee regional for the golf tournament.
Wow, bringing it back around full circle again.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
That's connecting the dots.
Do they have any of their players who may be nicknamed Sandman?
I don't
That'd be
think so.
So cool.
That would be good.
That would be.
Well, they do play in the sand.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
as
but you wanna stay away
golfers,
from
you
them.
don't want to be Sandman.
You want it to be, that would be known as
That would
Sandman.
be
my nickname. That
right?
would be my nickname on the golf course.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
indeed.
okay.
But it would be nice, like you mentioned earlier, to have the men and the women.
Yeah.
But I would like to see the men, FSU, and the men from FAMU advance to the next round.
That'd be
Right.
awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, so it's good news.
Yes,
Good news.
indeed. And then we also had the Lady Rattlers, the SWAC Championship Lady Rattlers. They fell to number 1 Georgia in the Athens Regional. They lost 4-0, but still a successful season for them because they did their thing this year.
Yeah.
They beat Jackson State for the SWAC
For the
championship.
schwack.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's going to be the name now.
That's
Okay.
right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then we're going to talk about these Lady Rattlers in softball.
Softball.
Yes, indeed. They top ranked in the East.
Yeah.
Yes, top ranked in the East.
Nice.
23-18 overall, 19-5.
11-1 at home though.
Yes,
So
definitely.
pretty good.
they
pretty
really
good.
played well at home.
SWAC
Yeah.
tournament play starts May 6th.
You pronounced it wrong.
I know. SWAC.
Schwack. You gotta go schwack.
It's SWAC,
I feel
baby.
like Sammy Davis
Schwack.
Jr. with that. I'm schwack, baby. Yeah, sorry. I mean, I tell you what, I'm aging myself when I bring in Sammy
Davis.
Jr.
I remember. I saw him on TV.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And they open up tournament play against Grambling on the 6th. The tournament runs through the 6th through the 10th.
Uh-huh.
And that's all I have for news. That's all my sports
That's
news.
it. That's your sport. He did a pretty darn good job.
He did a
as
great
our
job.
sports reporter.
Yeah.
We may actually elevate you to a full-time bench sports reporter.
Oh, that's a lot.
No additional pay.
Oh.
No, there's no additional pay. Actually, the pay will remain the same.
As long as it's not a decrease.
Yeah. Oh man, there's the double whistle.
Yeah, you got a technical for that, sir.
I should have gotten a technical several times.
Yeah.
Me too.
The refs
So,
are not paying
yeah.
attention today.
Yeah, that's.
They just let us
thank
play.
God, thank God. But I hope that the viewers are paying attention. And one more last pitch. It's like, please comment about us on our YouTube page. You'll be entered into a drawing for this cap right here. I know it's a real cap because I can do this to it. So that's a David Letterman thing from years ago.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, so we hope that we'll get some responses. We
Yeah.
hope that we get some positive news coming out of both baseball, softball, for the teams.
Golf.
And
Golf,
too.
yeah.
In the coming days before the next. And then we got some NBA playoffs that are going to be happening, and we'll be able to probably trash a couple of teams. LeBron, we won't talk about because he's not in.
No?
But we can still talk about LeBron.
He's on the floor somewhere.
Yeah.
Crying.
And yeah, he's on the floor. He's flopping around crying.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks again to Taylor Cox across the glass here for making us sound good. Jason
Putting up
Acuna,
with us.
putting up with us. Jason Acuna in the Video Village, and thank you to Mr. Tally Benchwarmer, to the lady with the missing cap
Yeah.
this week, and to you. We'll see you next week on Tally Benchwarmers.